lot of you are probably only here for the Insane version guide, so use the time markers to go there. It's in the playhead. But this is the first level first, so let's talk about that. In the beginning, it rushes you with a bunch of kangaroos. They provide you a lot of money and are relatively weak, so just kill them with some of your macho legs, dragon cats, and other mid-rangers. And it also spawns one shadow boxer K. This enemy is usually a threat in a lot of stages, but when he spawns alone like he does and his only support is those weak normal kangaroos, you can easily toss him around with your mid-rangers and other attackers. I am a little over-equipped for this stage, but even if you don't have a Bahamut, it's not that hard. So on base hit, one Ironclaw X spawns with a Shadow Boxer K, and he also gets a couple Cories as support later. They spawn one by one. You might be intimidated by this and thinking, oh, if I don't have a Bahamut, I can't beat this, but that's actually untrue. I only did it to make the stage go by faster. So the thing about Ironclaw X is that even though he has 410 range, which is a lot, he only has single target. So one singular Ironclaw X is completely helpless against your entire, your swarm of forces. And you can also bring 4 meat shields to make him even more overwhelmed, especially if you don't have a Bahamut. But because this guy's only single target, he's completely helpless. He's just a joke, easily destroyed. The Cories that come as support are weak enough to where Valkyrie can take them out pretty easily, along with any other attackers you have, especially Dragon Cat. Dragon and Jamira are pretty good here for taking out the Cories. They can tank his waves and kill him easily, and that's this stage done. Alright, now on to Old Master Insane. I would say the stage is a whole lot harder than the first one, especially if you don't know what you're doing, so allow me to explain. Some items you'll need are, you don't need speed up, but the 2 items you do need are Rich Cat and Cat CPU. And the reason is, as you can see, there are half a dozen Ironclaw X's that spawn and start decimating your meat shields. But again, as I said earlier, they only have single target. Even with 410 range, only single target. So you have to bring tons of meat shields. I brought 6. You might be able to get away with 5, but 6 is pretty good. Especially because in this stage, for the most part, if you bring Rich Cat, you have no worries with money. There's constantly Dark Doges and Metal Doges spawning, supplying you with a good supply of cash. And the other important things to do are, okay, so 5 or 6 meat shields, and you absolutely need a couple of area attacking mid-rangers. I do not recommend Macho Legs or Dragon Cat here, because they only have single target. And to get rid of all the Doge Darks, and also the pigeons that spawn sometimes, they're a threat. And area attackers are the only surefire way to get rid of them. So obviously bring Bahamut again, he's really good here. If you have either Drama, Paris, Pole Vaulter, anything like that, bring them. Nymph Cat's good too. The weird collab unit I'm bringing, by the way, is basically like a worse version of Pole Vaulter, so that's what that is. Any LD attackers are good, such as my bootleg Pole Vaulter. And any area attackers that are just standard are good here, like my Drama Cats, who is pretty similar to Paris. Another great unit is Crazed Legs. Since the wave attack, it can hit all of the Ironclaw X's even if they aren't stacked on top of each other. And when you hit some Doges, the wave attack from the Crazed Legs can also do chip damage to Ironclaw. The main thing here is to just turn on Cat CPU once you have enough money and sit back and watch the fireworks. Everything just dies eventually. But again, you need a couple area attackers. Bahamut is the one you get for free. Crazed Legs is another one you get for free. The wave attack is even better than the area attack. So yeah. And then the other 2 slots, that's where your area attackers are going to go. You should have at least 1 by now. There are many different types. If you have a rare or super rare with area attack, do yourself a solid and go on the website mygamatodo.com and just look at its stats. And if they seem decent, bring it. If they seem trash, don't. But most rares and super rares that have area attack generally have some degree of attacking force. Even if it's just Karate Cat or Kung Fu Cat, you can bring him. Just any area attackers you have, preferably good ones and not Kung Fu, because Kung Fu, I tried him here, he doesn't work very well. So yeah, not a hard stage as long as you have Cat CPU and Rich Cat. If you don't have them, I'm not sure what I would tell you. If you don't have a CPU, this is going to give you carpal tunnel deploying all the meat shields. And if you don't have Rich Cat, you can't use Cat CPU, because the problem with Cat CPU is that it prioritizes leveling up your worker wallet first. So Rich Cat starts at level 8, but if it starts at level 1, Cat CPU will try to level up your wallet instead of deploying your stuff and getting you, keeping you alive. So for my strat, you need those items. But as long as you have those items and a mid-ranger that is not Crazy Gross or Bahamut, then you can win. It's pretty easy, as you can see. I don't need to do anything. I just sat back and watched myself win. So one last tip for the super unlucky people who are cursed and haven't gotten any good area attackers from the gacha. Just progress in Stories of Legends for now and get to the Great Escaper, which is I think in the 17th subchapter of SOL, because by beating that stage you unlock a new area attacking unit very similar to Bahamut Cat called Urarun Wolf, and she's definitely good here, and she'll be like a second Bahamut for you in this stage. So if you're really unlucky, you have no good area attackers, beat the Great Escaper in Jailbreak Tunnel in Stories of Legends, and get Urarun. And that's it. Not a hard stage if you have just some area attackers and stuff. So yeah, see ya.